After uploading a clip from my Twitch channel onto Reddit yesterday, it got overwhelming response, and there was a lot of discussion on exactly what caused this 49 wagon artillery train to crash in such a spectacular manner. I just wanted to put it to rest once and for all. Exactly what happened. So there was a lot of debating. Many of the suggestions were that the intersections were signaled properly, or that loops are a bad idea, or that the wagon was just simply too long for this train network. It was kind of a combination of multiple things, and I want to dive right into it in this video. So here we are with the artillery wagon, and I would like to go ahead and show exactly what the scenario is before the crash. As we can see, there's a lot of trains here. People are saying that because the signals were improperly because the intersections were improperly signaled, the trains had a deadlock. But in reality, it's actually because there is a artillery locomotive on the line already. So it took me a little while to figure out exactly how that ended up happening, and what it was that I called in the artillery train up to this point to take out a base here, and then I called it over here, which caused it to cut off the last two wagons. So it was the same situation here, except for on a slightly larger loop. So the entire train did not crash like it does in this case here. And this one is just a spectacular crash. I keep loading the save just to watch it over and over. I can't get enough of it. Now, when I got that deadlock with the wagon, with the train previously cutting itself off, I had never noticed that it was a thing because I was busy dealing with too many biter attacks, and so I was trying to push them back because they kept attacking the copper outpost and the stone outpost here. So I was more in a hurry to get it defended that I didn't even notice that the line was backed up here. And as you can see, there is just absolute carnage on the train lines. There is locomotives all over the place. There's artillery wagons left over. There's some over here. There's pieces of crushed train throughout the track. It was just completely destroyed. I did actually go through and clear this line manually on stream as a challenge to myself, but ultimately I decided that loops are a horrible idea and decided to restart the world after 100 hours. I could have just renovated the train lines, but it seemed to me that renovating the entire train line as well as switching all the trains over would just be too much work, and I can probably get to this same place in less than 100 hours and have a better factory for it. Now, one of the main reasons that the train crashed in the first place was because this line is backed up here, so it was not able to go through this lane. So the train pathing decided that if it went on the outside lane, it would have a clear path back to its home station. So I wanted to kind of put that to rest here and show that if I do put a way for the train to change paths, we end up with a much better situation. So the Reddit users that did mention that the train would not path through that loop if there was lane switching available were absolutely correct. Now, typically I don't put lane switching on my 4-lane lines because I feel that a train should choose a path before as it leaves a station, because as it tries to overtake certain trains, it causes issues where it causes trains to more slow down than if they were just to choose a lane and stick to it, much like traffic in real world. Although I have never tried to combine that idea with loops, because I've never built loops before in a base. I have always designed stations that they pulled into and pulled back out of. And this base was kind of a challenge to myself to conquer loops once and for all, but I will never do it again. And I recommend that you don't either. Although, it's Factorio. Anything is possible.